Guys, we are in the OP09 format. I'm so happy to be here finally to get some Belo Betty support. If you know me, I love my Revolutionary Armies. I love Belo Betty. It's really just Belo Betty. Red Yellow Sabo is cool. I definitely want to try it out in future videos, so subscribe for more deck profiles very soon. But today we're going to be going over Belo Betty. And if you don't know her ability, it's kind of crazy. One of the best aggro decks, aggro strategies, I guess. It's not like Dofi. You can play control, you can play mid-range, you can play whatever you need to. Belo Betty, straight face, no case. Here we go. Activate main once per turn. Discard one Revolutionary Army type character from your hand or card. Give up to 3 of your Revolutionary Army or trigger type characters plus 3,000 power during this turn. That's just crazy. Giving 3 bodies 3k for 0 Dawn investment. So if I'm on 10 Dawn, I can technically get 19 Dawn worth of power to my characters and leader. The leader doesn't get the 3k from the effect, but you can obviously attach Dawn to it. That's just insane. The biggest thing is managing your resources. That's going to be one of your most important things in this deck and in future matchups. And just going face. Basically, you want to make sure you can't die next turn, and if you can't die, you just hit them in the face. It's that simple. Now, if you can die, you got to take a step back. But if you can win, or you need to get to a point where, hey, maybe if I don't go face right now, I definitely lose. Even if I clear their board, there's a chance of getting a trigger out of life that saves me. Sometimes that's just what you have to play. I'm going to be honest. It sucks, but it's true. So we'll go over the deck list right here. We're going to start off with Inazuma. Inazuma was not a card I was super interested in the past, but being a 3-drop 4K that you can make into 7 to gain Rush. So basically, if a character you control other than this character has power 7,000 or more, this character gains Rush. So we can play him out for 3, use our leader ability, giving another character plus 3, and also this character plus 3. So then they're both plus 3, but then the other character is a 7, then he gains Rush. Just remember, it does have to be other characters. I've messed that up before. It does have to be other characters, not him being 7k, which works great with other characters in the deck because we're always giving them plus 3k. So we'll go to Ivankov. This is going to be one of your lead staples. You need to see this in your opening hand. If activate main once per turn, again, activate main, very nice because we don't have to deal with those pesky Blackbeards. Not that we have a difficult matchup anyways, but this card helps us win that matchup by expanding our board quickly and early in the game. Activate main once per turn. If this character has 7,000 power or more, play one Revolutionary Army type character from your hand with 5,000 power or less other than this Ivankov. Other than Ivankov. So the important thing with this is, like I said, managing your resources because you only have the 5 cards and your 4 life because you are a 4 life leader and you only get 1 draw per turn. We don't have a bunch of draw power in red or yellow. We could play a more trigger strategy and play Darishishi and stuff like that, but we need to go face. We don't have time to search. We don't have time to set up. We don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So what we do is leader effect, give plus 3 to this, and then swing with our other bodies on board, and then use the Ivankov to play out something else. Something else usually being Karasu. Karasu is one of the P's of the deck. Amazing character, and it has an amazing interaction with leaders that not many other characters have. So OP05 rare. If your leader has the Revolutionary Army type on play, give up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters minus 1,000 power. So with this, you can make your opponent's leader minus 1k. That's huge because you make them a 4k leader. The math is so much different. Just 1 non-investment on a character just takes the cake right there. It's amazing. Going into a 4k, taking 2 cards out of hand, or using this to finish a game just because of how strong that effect is. That extra 1k really adds up. It helps against the Shanks matchup to really get early aggression. This is a card you need to see against Shanks. Let me tell you, you need to see this against Shanks. So that's one of the specific matchups you're going to see a lot at your locals because it really helps with our cheap early game players like our Searcher and our Kuma, which we'll get to in a minute. It really helps us actually be able to hit with those rather than 5 with leader. You use your leader ability and then 5 with one of them, they counter 1. It's not that bad. But whenever we have this, it's still a 1k and a 2k counter out of the hand rather than just 1k. So it gives you a lot of advantage in that to start getting cards out of hand early or forcing them to take life, which is what we ultimately want. So very, very good card. And then it has the same effect, but when attacking. So on your turn, you could play out a Karasu and swing with a Karasu and make their opponent's leader 3,000. Crazy. I'm telling you, crazy. Karasu is an amazing card. I love Karasu. Very, very good. Koala, it's our 2k counter. That's Revo Army type. If your leader has the Revo Army type, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 3k. So when we need to control the board, we can. If we need an early body, we have this as well, just to have a 3k instead of a 2k like our other 2 lower end bodies. This card's just amazing. Minus 3k is crazy for an on-play, but sometimes the on-play is not even important. It's great for counter. This is all-around amazing card, staple in the deck, must play, no matter what kind of deck list you want to run. Kuma is you don't have to play this card, but it works really well with the Koala to get rid of a 5k body. Honestly, like a purple-black Luffy matchup where they play that Zoro, return 2 Dawn, gain 3 back, basically. This works really well where you give it minus 3 on their 3 Dawn turn, or on your 4 after that, because if you go second. So minus 3 and then kill it with Kuma, it just works, because it's just on-play KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 2,000 power or less. This is really good against Purple Luffy, killing, what's his name, Mr. 2, any of their cheap blockers, like this kills Vasco Shot. It gets rid of so many just chumps that a lot of decks don't have removal for anymore that you can get a 5k body, because you might look at this as 2k, or 2 cost 2k. This is a 5k. This is a 5k body, 5k swing. We love to see it. We got Belo Betty. This just searches top 5 for Revolutionary Army type other than Belo Betty. Super simple to the point. It's a 1 cost 5k body. Again, amazing. And you search a card, which helps with your advantage in your hand. Early game play. If you get 2 of these and go second, you just have 3 5k swings on your second turn. That's crazy, right? That's aggro. That's what you want to see. Morley right here, your opponent cannot, if this character has 7,000 power or more, your opponent cannot activate blockers during this battle, and that's when attacking. Again, many things you've seen don't really get turned off by Blackbeard, which is really nice, because the only things we've had so far is Belo Betty, Kuma, Koala, and half of Karasu, so that's half of our list, but it's cheap bodies that, again, are just quick 5Ks, and against that deck, all you do is go wide. Super nice, because you're going to see that deck a lot in the format. So, as I said, can't activate blockers. This can just win you the game, and it has the trigger trash 1 card. If your leader is multicolored, play this character, or play this card. Very good. No counter kind of sucks. That's why I play it as the 3 of rather than the 4, like the Lindbergh you're about to see. But I think this card is just really good. It can win you Black-Yellow Luffy matchups. There's so much to this card, because I can leader effect and then put 10 Dawn on it, swing 18 at a Black-Yellow Luffy, and it's like, if you got it, you got it. So if that's just the trigger we get and it just wins us the game, so be it. I'll take it. We have Lindbergh right here. When attacking, if your leader has 7,000 power or more, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less. It has the same trigger. Discard a card. If your leader is multicolored, play this card. Very good. Great for aggro. It kills the chump blockers, so sometimes we have to do things out of order or missequence it where we can Lindbergh first, then Karasu, because usually you want to swing with Karasu first, make the leader -1, but we have to kill those jump blockers sometimes, and this is the best option. Sometimes it's better just a leader effect, use Ivankov to cheat out the Kuma, which you may see later today, but amazing card, really good. Again, we get all the chumps out, and it works really well with Koala as well, and like Purple Luffy. There's just so much to it, and I love this card. Ivankov, Part 2, 5 cost 6k. Look at the top 3. Play 1 Revolutionary Army type character with 5,000 power or less, then return the remaining to the bottom of your deck in any order. It just cheats out Revolutionary Army. You can play Ivankov to cheat out this Ivankov, to then cheat out this Karasu and get 3 bodies on the board. The main reason this card is so impactful, which I didn't understand at first when I first started playing Belo Betty, is that it does not force cards out of your hand. You're forcing cards out of the top of your deck, which is very good because you're always discarding a card every other turn. So I think this is really impactful in the game. This and the Belo Betty Searcher, of course, are some of the most important cards to have, especially if you're going first. You can always play around either way, but I just love having this Ivankov active. Ben Beckman, it's just a staple in Shanks, but it really helps in the Shanks matchup if they're playing Lucky Roo. A lot of Shanks are not playing Lucky Roo, but this helps us get through Sabo blockers and stuff like that as well, because even on a 10-Dawn turn, if we play this for 7, we can pump something up and go 11 at lead, getting rid of Sabo already before, so it forces 2 cards out of a Black-Yellow Luffy's hands and stuff like that. So I think this card's very impactful. I think it's very good against decks that you can trash it rather than KO it. Helps against Smoker with Borsellino. It gets through that effect. It stops on KO, so Jellin can't affect us and stuff like that. Very good. 1k counter as well on a 7 cost 7k. I'll take it. Now we can't bump this up with leader ability, but a 7 cost 7k is already the magic number. 7k is great in the lead, and with Karasu it's even better. Gold D Roger. I don't know. I'm going to tell you now. I don't know if this is a good card. I don't know if this is good in the deck, if it's a 2 of or 1 of. But in my opinion, my personal opinion, if a card can just win you a game because it's in your hand, I think you should at least have 1. And that's how I see this card in any red deck right now. Shanks plays it, and a lot of other decks are picking it up because of the strength of it. If you're playing red, it literally just stops any blocker. It can win you games because you're aggro into purple Luffy, they block her up, it wins you games. Like those kind of decks, this really does a lot for you. And so I think this is very important because a purple Luffy will usually, from a good player, will just take the life and not counter out and just work on clearing your board and widening theirs, right? But at some point they will have to block her up to save themselves, and if you have this card, you just win. And that's the beauty of it, because we can pump out, even if we only have one Karasu, this card in our leader attack. You drop this 5, counter 1 Karasu, we can bump it up to an 8, make their leader 4, or no, now they have to counter 2 with leader 7, and then 13, and you cannot block. Or if they still have 3 life and we have the perfect amount of math to win it, if they have 0 cards in hand, it just wins you games. I'm telling you, if it just stops blockers, it just wins you games. I think this is a must play, at least of 1, because again, I don't see any reason that if a character can win you the whole game just from playing it, you shouldn't play it. Especially when this does not take all of our Dawn, because technically we still have 9k more Dawn to distribute to our characters after playing it. Wild, crazy, nasty. It maybe win more, but also if we go down to 0 life, which we will do because we have these triggers that play themselves out, I think it just wins you games, and it can take over. Just, hey, you either got it or you don't. And that's red, yellow, Belo Betty for you. We play Satori. We run 10 2k counters in total. You'll see the other one. You've already seen the Koala. We run this as 2 of. You may trash 1 card from your hand, play this character. The main reason we play only as a 2 and 2 and 2 is for our Ivankov. We don't want to miss, so we only have 8 whiffs in this deck. Well, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 whiffs in this deck because you have to count itself because it doesn't play itself because the power's too high. But so I like to keep it as a 2. I think 10 2Ks. We don't really counter much anyway, so we usually just take. So it is what it is. I like it, and it's great for a trigger. Nami, trash 1 card with trigger from your hand, KO up to one of your opponent's characters that costs 5 or less. Then if you have 3 or less cards, draw 1 card. It just filters the hand. Sometimes you need to get rid of a trigger and find something else, or like need to ditch Satori to get something to ditch for our leader effect and kill something on board. It just helps you in those regards. I just think it's a good card. It literally just removes a body when you need it, and that's what's most important sometimes is removal. Especially against certain decks, you just have to remove certain targets or you just lose. So Karasu, blocker with a trigger. If your leader has a Revolutionary Army type and the total of you and your opponent's life is 5 or less, play this card. It's really good in the late game just to trigger out. It really can just win you games. That's just what the trigger blockers do. They just win games sometimes. It's just what yellow does. Yellow doing yellow things. We can play some yellow cards for once. It's very nice. We play Kuma, 2k counter. If your leader has a Revolutionary Army type, same trigger basically, play this card. If you and your opponent have 5 or less life together, it's great. It's a trigger body for free. You don't have to discard anything, which is really impactful in our hand size, unlike the Morley and Lindbergh. It just plays. But it has a higher stipulation of 5 or less life total, and if we're going against a 1-color leader, it hooks us in that regard. Finally, Fire Fist. Again, this is just a great card. 2 cost, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 4k. Then if you have 2 or less life, KO one of your opponent's characters with 0 power or less. So I see this really impactful in case we do run into Bonnie or something like that, because Bonnie can hook us with Eustace Kid. In a way, we have our ways around it, but just them being able to stall out and clear our board every turn is what kills us, and whatever we give extra power, they just rest it. So it kind of does hurt. So in a little combo, wombo, you can koala down their blocker and then use this to KO the blocker and give Kid minus 4, and then swing into it with all of your other bodies while developing a body itself, which is a 2 cost 6k, and you're KOing their main blocker, the thing that's saving them from losing that card. It just works. It's really good, and I think that's basically one of the biggest impacts. It also just kills the Rebekahs if you're going against like Lucci or something like that. Lucci does hurt this deck, but with Lucci being less prevalent at the moment, I think we have a good deck profile just all together. So that's Belo Betty. I'm sorry, guys. That was a lot right there to unpack, but I want to go deep dive into this because I am so excited to be playing this in OP09. Like I said, I'm bringing this to locals. I'm excited to see what I can cook up, what can happen, because it's a fun deck, and it basically either you just high roll or you just low roll, and sometimes you even low roll and still win somehow because you're just so aggro and decks can't keep up. So let's get into some decks. Let's get into some games and just see what we can do here. All right, guys, we have the Shanks matchup here. I think we want to take second away from them to stop the Rayleigh. We do get the Ivankov here for 4. We get the Koala for early. I think we will keep this. We also have a 2K counter in the Inazuma for when we need it. We can cheat out the Inazuma with the Ivankov effect and then with 2 Dawn on Ivankov and then get a lot of just value out of that. And I don't mind playing this early. We don't get any effect out of it, but it's just to have the body. Again, we're just trying to take him off of curve. It does hurt the Lucky Roo, so it makes him less likely to play Lucky Roo, which is very cool. I love that. I don't like seeing Lucky Roo early in this matchup. He's going to go 6 into our face. We are going to... Do we even care to counter this, or do we just take early? I think we take. No trigger. Womp womp. We don't have to develop the Ivankov just yet. We could go Belo Betty and then maybe swing more proactively or play the Karasu or an Inazuma. But I think just having the Ivankov, it really depends on what we draw. We do see the Sanji, so we will take 1 life, and then this character gains plus 2k. I'm honestly fine with him taking life in our matchup, so that's just going to change up what I'm doing. That tells me I want to play the Ivankov here, because this will kill. We play the Ivankov into the Lindbergh. That will kill the Sanji without even having to swing it next turn, unless he has a way to KO our Lindbergh. So what we will do is this, trash 1, Revo Army, which is going to be the Searcher. It's too late in the game to play the Searcher. I know that sounds crazy, but we'll go 5 at face and then 6 at face just to force out his leader effect. We could go 6 first just to see if we get 1k, 1k rather than nothing and 2k. Or if he just takes, which is fine with me too. And then we'll trigger out the Lindbergh and pass turn. We didn't play the Lindbergh first just because in case, but I guess we should have probably played the Lindbergh first just in case because he would have killed the Ivankov if he had something to kill something, and then we get no effect out of it. So maybe that was a slight misplay. I wouldn't mind. Lucky Roo does come out. The Lucky Roo does come out. He's going to go 6 into face. I think we just counter that because I don't think we want to take again this early. We'll counter and then see what he wants to do. So he doesn't want to do anything. We don't see a Beckman yet, so we're kind of forced to take whatever Lucky Roo does to us. I do think this is probably the best play right here. We could play the Inazuma for rush, but we obviously have to swing with this first if we're going to use 2 Dawn. We're going down in card size, so I think we have to go down in card size here, getting rid of the Inazuma just in case we need the blocker. Get all of these. We'll trigger out our blocker first, and then we will swing the 8 into face because we have to do that first to KO the Sanji, just to show, hey, that's a wasted card, and I dare you to block. We don't have anything to play with Ivankov anyway, so I want to bait him into killing Ivankov because I don't care. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Isn't gonna change up my game plan. I want him to use this Lucky Roo, honestly. And then we're gonna go 6. Ooh, then he could kill it with Lucky Roo. I want to force him into the Lucky Roo first. So we will go 8 first. The reason is because of this Lucky Roo. It changes how you have to play completely. I'm not 100% sure if this is the correct play, but just going the 8 and 8 to guarantee, hey, you can't just block my Koala and then kill my Ivankov. So now we'll go 6 and be like, hey, there you go. This is what I do. This is what we'll do. We don't have anything to throw away with Nami, so we'll go 6, and then go 6, and then we're going to Ivankov, getting rid of the Koala for whatever we hit. There was no merit in playing the Ivankov first just because of Lucky Roo. As much as I would love to Ivankov into Karasu first, isn't worth it. He finally does use his leader ability there, and then now we'll play our Ivankov to play out. Morley is very important in this matchup right now because it's unblockable. So we'll just pass turn at that. We have 1 card in hand, everything gone, but we have a blocker on board. He has Beckman, so he will trash our Morley more than likely if he wants the right play. He could get rid of Ivankov for the higher power, but I just think Morley's the better play here. It does more just in the game. It does Morley. Yep, he gets rid of Morley. That's very impactful. He will probably only have 1 swing here. I doubt he'll swing Lucky Roo. And so we'll give him Lindbergh, I believe, or we could force him into playing the other one, but I don't really care to force him to play the Lucky Roo. We'll just have to see what we get here, because we will have 8 Dawn to play with. He's trying to decide if he wants to swing with Lucky Roo. He goes no, and we Beckman off the top right there. That's beautiful, so we will go ahead and Beckman, trash it, and we're chilling now. We are chilling. I think we're just going to go 6 in a life and pass. I don't think it's worth doing anything else or giving him our board because he should only have 3 swings and we have a blocker. So just because of our leader ability not being active, so we'll just pass. We don't have to do anything. He can Rayleigh here, but our leader ability just gets rid of that. He decides to play Dragon instead, and I dare him to swing our life. I dare him to swing our life. take, block. We're chilling. We just have to win in the next turn, and I have no doubts that we will. So he's going to go 7. We're going to take no trigger, sadly, but a trigger would be nice. 7. Oh, man. And then activate main. Boom. Minus 4k. Kill nothing. But now it's only a 1k counter. So we can technically just counter out with the Nami instead, because he didn't want to use that extra Dawn. He's saving it for a Radical Beam right here. So do understand that's why we know that's what's going to happen here. So we can go for either clearing board. We do have the Karasu, which is very nice to cheat out. So we will trash this, bumping 1, 2, 3 as our only targets, as Beckman will not work. This can come out for free, actually. We just have to be worried about the triggers, but we should play it first. And now we have 10 Dawn to swing with. So we'll start with a 7, and then we're about to go crazy after this. This is going to be the one swing we'll go 8 because of his leader ability. We already have 8s across the board, basically. We have a 7 there and a 5 here, but we have all this Dawn and 2 blockers on the board. We're going to swing with the blockers last. Usually you would do them first, but it saves us from losing, basically, unless he has another rush body, and then we're just cooked. And then if he wants to counter out of all of these, we'll go for clearing board. We're not really scared of whatever he has going on, so we're going to go 8 again. 8's a weird number because he does have the Rad Beam, but even if he swung 9, he just goes -1 and then gets it. 1k here. He sees that, hey, 8's going to be the lowest thing he swings. So I think we go 9. What you going to do? You have to get out of this. And it's just game. He had no chance. It looks like his 2 things were 1Ks, and that's just how you beat up Shanks. Real quick, easy, to the point. I look like I'm crazy today, because I'm Belo Betty crazy. She got me wildin'. She gets everybody excited to play, to fight. I'm talking about her devil fruit, guys. I'm not attracted to Belo Betty. That sounds weird. Next game. Looks like we will be taking on Purple Luffy, and I think we'll take the first curve from him. I'm really not stressed about it. We don't have a 1. We have a 3 there. I think we mulligan that. I don't think that's perfect, but now we have the 1 and the 3. And if we can find an Ivankov here, we'll have everything we need. And we find an Ivankov. I think that's perfect. We could have gone for Lindbergh instead, but there was nothing to cheat it out, and Karasu's the better target there. So even in case we don't play this and we play the Karasu instead, I still think that was the better play. We do find an Inazuma. We will play Morley. We'll go 5 at face. We're going to go aggro early, I believe, because we can ditch the Fire Fist, which is super nice. I was about to say, dang, he just Shanks affected us and just let it go. But nope, he did not. Should we leader effect? Ditching, I don't think we need the Fire Fist. He doesn't really have anything. I mean, like the cheap blockers, but that's what we have Lindbergh for. Let's get 2 cards out of hand. We'll go 5 again. I don't care if he clears up our board, because we're about to Ivankov on the next turn, and then be unblockable as well. So that's fine with me. I think we're fine with the hand size we have. We may try to starve us out, but that's okay. We'll probably just play the Zoro. He doesn't have to. Maybe that wasn't the best to do that, just because he does go to 4. He does have the even curve. He doesn't have to take a life here. He doesn't have to take a life until his next turn, because he will be playing the Luffy Taro, I'm assuming. This is an odd matchup. He looks like he's wanting to go for the Sanji on the next turn, so that doesn't really change what we have to do. It's still going to be 5. We're going to force him to choose what he wants to rest down. I believe that's the best bet, but he does have to counter this, which is very nice. We are getting a lot of cards out early. I think we have to. I think we keep this just for the chump blockers, so we get rid of Inazuma here. Give plus 3k, because he's not going to counter out of this. It's going to force him down to 2 life on the next turn. He will play the Sanji, we know that. But and then we'll play that with the Lindbergh, giving him another target that he has to choose to rest down. But you think that was better than the Karasu there, because the Karasu he's going to kill. We have one in hand already, so we're kind of chilling. We have a bunch of life and a bunch of triggers hopefully in there. I would love to see a few, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 4. 4 would be crazy, but I would be very happy. We do have a 2k counter, so we will 2k counter out of this, forcing him into it again. Now he's only going to be able to clear 1 body on our board, because we're going to counter out of this, and now he has to play the Sanji. He has to, and we still have 2 swings next turn. So it puts us in a really advantageous spot, in my opinion, because we don't care about clearing up his board, and if he wants to play Luffy Taro, we're chilling. If he wants to play a blocker because of what we just did, we're chilling. See, he's scared to lose life, and so it's putting us in a really good spot. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but he does leave 2 Dawn active. If we can force him into using those Gum Gum Giants, that's cool with me. We're going to go for it. Tap 2, leader ability, try to kill me. We'll go plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. We have 8s all across the board into a 4. So even if he does Gum Gum Giant, that's fine. I dare you to Gum Gum Giant. He'll go down to 2 Dawn, 4 Dawn on his next turn. He'll only have the 3 swings, and he cannot win. With 4 Dawn, he has no rush bodies. I think we're in a really good spot here. We don't have anything to kill with Lindbergh, sadly. So he'll give us the first Gum Gum Giant, and he'll still have to give us 1k counter. That's how crazy this matchup is. So he ditched the Luffy Taro, draw 2 new cards. He'll only be at 6 Dawn next turn, so he can still play the Sanji down, rest the Karasu, and really clear the board, which is what I'm assuming he's going to do. If he plays another Gum Gum Giant, I think he just loses, honestly, because then he can't play the Sanji, which I'm assuming he's going to play the Sanji, so we'll have to just see. I would love to see him go down to 0 cards. That would be, sure, go down to 0 life, buddy. Go down to 0 life. I dare you. Oh my gosh. So we know he's going to play the Sanji. He clears our whole board this turn. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Oh no, he can't even ramp up. He can't even ramp because he has no life now. We are chilling. We are chilling. Clear my board. You got him. You got him. You got him. Sure. What do you play for 6? A blocker? You have to play a blocker here, honestly. Yep, he plays the Kid. He has 1 Dawn active. We could play Beckman just to develop another body and then swing. I think we swing 7. So Beckman just to have the body. We'll swing 7 at face, making him -1, forcing him to the Gum Gum Giant, which is my hope here. Because if we set him back another 2 Dawn, we're in a very good spot. He will not have 2 rush next turn. He did not like that. So 5 in a face. We have the Beckman on the board. A 7 cost 7k. No leader effect needed. We're kind of chilling. He'll be at 8 Dawn here. He can tap down our... He can't tap down anything. Yeah, see, we're good. We're good. Give me 1 Karasu blocker out of life. Even with rush here, he can't win, so he may not even swing our life. He's going to look to develop 2 blockers more than likely. This is where our 10 drop would look very good. It would look very good. Does he know he just lost? Does he know he just lost? Seriously. We'll go... I guess we could go 9. I think we just go 17 into face, because what? 4, and then 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That would be 12 plus 4. 16 into 17. He just won, or he just lost. Because even with it, he had a no K counter. I think I was overthinking it. I think I just go for game. We saw him take 8 Ks. He would have gotten out of it if he could have. Even with the 1 Dawn, he still would lose, because that'd be 4, 5, 6, and then he had 7 with 1 Dawn, or 1,000 counter on top of the deck. Jeez, I'm telling you, we just rush people down, we just win. And we had the Goldie Roger chilling up here in our life. If he would have done those last 2 swings, which he was scared of, we wouldn't have gotten the trigger for this because we had no cards in hand, but we would have gotten the Goldie Roger, and so even if you develop blockers right there, we still just win. Anyways, we'll go on to the next one, guys. That one was fun, dude. I'm telling you. Anti-meta, Belo Betty is the best right now. That was a lot of Bs. Over A+. Alright, guys. I'm going to be going against only the best decks in the format. We mulligan that. That was not good. We have nothing for our 1 Dawn turn, which sucks, but I'm only going to be showing you the best decks in the format. Teach, Shanks, that kind of sucks. We'll just go 5 in a face. He's going to take because he's Blackbeard. That's what Blackbeard does. If he wants to counter, go for it. We're going to force him into a Laboon here. Obviously, that's just what he's going to play. More than likely, then we'll Ivankov into something. More than likely not a Karasu, sadly, because we have 2 in hand already. We're just trying to spam out bodies on the board. That is, if we can play 2 bodies every turn, we're chilling. Like villains. I'm telling you, that is just the way to beat Marshall D. Teach. I want you to see the Shanks matchup we just won, the Luffy matchup we just won, and I want you to see this matchup. I think he's trying to trick us into using the blocker so he doesn't have to do Laboon. He could do Burger instead. We're going to take. I'm not scared to take that. I ain't scared of you, big dog. I ain't scared of you. Ooh, Finger Pistol. Forced out a Finger Pistol this early? Sure, give it to me. Give it to me. Pause. There is merit to actually just playing out the Kuma instead. Granted, we are on 7 Dawn, but it would get rid of his dot Q. He does counter out of that one, so it looks like that's not how he wants to clear up our body. Let's just spam out more bodies. Let's do our thing. It gives us the Lindbergh, which is even better for the dot Q. It forces him to kill this turn, and then we just get rid of dot Q with our Kuma next turn and play a Karasu on the board. He wants to play Ice Age here. We have not even used our leader ability. Kind of scary. Kind of scary. He will kill it. That's okay. I think he misplayed. I think he should have killed the Lindbergh because it's just a free kill into whatever we need. Because now we're going to kill Van Augur on the next turn. So we'll counter 1 Karasu, actually. I know that sounds crazy, but I think that's the best bet. So look at this. Koala -3. Lindbergh kills it. So, oh, we don't have on plays. No on plays anymore. No. Well, looks like we're going into face then. What are we going to do? 2 and 5? No, I think we go 4 and 2. So we're going to go... We need to bump this up. And I don't really want to discard anything just yet. So that's 2. So we need to go 2-2. But I would love... He's just going to get rid of our on-plays every turn from here on out. I don't know. We're forcing him out of a lot of cards. Let's go 5 into face to start. Decide what we want to do. I think he has to take this. There's no way out of it. So I think we really do just pump out 3 bodies next turn because he's going to kill our guy. So 1, 2, 3, and that would give us 1. So we will have the leader ability, dropping this, and then give him 1 Dawn. So we'll swing 6 and KO. Chilling with that idea. He does get to draw a card, but we're going 9 into face. Do what you want. If you want to get out of that, go for it. Go for it, buddy. We only need to get 2 bodies here, so we probably will do the Karasu and the Koala, not all 3. I think that would be a little greedy. The biggest thing against Blackbeard is getting 2 bodies. The Karasu is very impactful. We could have Karasu'd first. Bro, you have to take that. You're Blackbeard. You cannot counter. If you counter, you get no on plays next turn. Thank you. We will get this, and we'll get the Koala just because the Koala Kuma together can do a lot next turn. And we'll just pass turn. So now he's got to choose what he wants. We have 2k counter to use. I don't really count these guys right now because we're definitely going to be keeping them for later. He will swing into it. I do not want to give that to him, so we will just go ahead and counter. It forces him either to swing the Van Augur, and if he does, we know he doesn't have -3. He has 8 Dawn. Usually he wants to play 2 burgers out at this point. He does not have 2 number 4 combo from McDonald's, 2 single cheeseburgers and everything. Like, he don't have it right now. He'll give -3 to Karasu, kill Karasu, and I think we're just going to eat his... I don't even think we need to eat his board up. I really don't think we're stressed about it. He does have the leader ability. He has 6 Dawn left. He plays Liberation. He kills that, and then he doesn't get rid of our on plays. So guess what? Boom. KO'd. Simple. Easy. To the point. I think we do swing... I don't even think we leader ability. We kill .Q here, and then I think we spam out 2 bodies on the board. So that would be 5 Dawn. So we have 7 to swing into Van Augur. I dare you to give me some counter. I dare you to counter out of that. I'm going to kill your Van Augur. Because even with .Q on the board, technically we only have to kill 1. Because the only thing is we probably should have killed the Van Augur, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Because it's a higher power body, and it can actually swing into our characters while his leader couldn't have. You know what I mean? So we probably should have done that. I think it'd be better just to develop more bodies. So give him -3. We have 3, so 2. We'll swing 7 into Van Augur. And then we'll play Morley. Stop whoever you want from attacking. You're still taking 3 swings next turn. I don't think we're really stressed about it. I think we've made a few mistakes along the way. I think we should have just gone for Van Augur first. We had our on plays. And then he's going to 10 drop. 10 drop. And he has to stop the Morley. The Morley gets unblockable. It's crazy. Crazy Kevin Powell style. You know what I mean? So, yep, he will stop the Morley here. And then we're just going to go straight in the face. Force him down. Oh my gosh. We could go -2 on it. But if we go -2 for 2, and then we go 7, 6, 5, that doesn't sound good because it wouldn't do anything. It needs to be 8 or higher. So what do we do? 3, 3, that's 6 and 5. And so how do we split that? 5, 10, 16, 26 divided by 3. If you don't know, that's how you math it out. So 26 divided by 3, that's 8, 8, 9, I believe, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, so it's 8, 9, 9. So we're going to go 8, 9, 9 into face. Boom. Simple and to the point. We'll start with characters just in case, using our less Dawn needed characters first, just so you know what to do in the future. But yeah, that's just how we're going to do it. Simple, to the point. We're going 8, 9, 9. Yep, block, 2, 3, 4. I'm going face, buddy. I want you to know that. I'm not going butt. Anywhere but. And we still will have the Morley and this for next turn. More than likely, he will try to kill one of them. He would have to swing this to get both of them. And then he can pacify something else, which would suck. He grabs a Shiryu 2k counter because he probably knows he needs to he needs to clear up our board. I think we're in a really good spot. He had to counter out. So he's only going to have 3 cards, but that was the smart play, honestly. Because if he can't pacify our Morley here, he's in a tough spot. He will kill this. You got it. He could swing the Teach here and kill this, and then play his 10 drop. Yep. 10 drop will stop Morley from attacking, which will suck. But I think if we just swing 15 into face, what can you do? You have no counter left in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, I could just go 15. It would force out the Teach. Or he'd have to take the life, but I don't think he's scared to take the life right now, so I think it's better. We'll go 5 and then see what he wants to do. If he forgets to block, sure, that's fine. And then we will Ivankov, because Ivankov's going to get us 2 bodies on the board, and it'll just be 2 big bodies. We pass turn. What do you want to do? We have 4 big swings coming at you, and we will have our leader ability active because we're going to draw something from the top that we need. You're not getting another one. You can swing me 3 times here. I don't care what you play. If you're not playing a cheap blocker, you're in a bad spot. You are in a bad spot. Draw, search, do whatever you want. He grabs a 2K counter. He grabs a 2K counter. So we know he has two 2Ks, and it's not probably a no counter. So take, trigger, sure, hit me. All right, we did exactly what we said we'd do. Discard. We will go plus 3, 3, 3, and then how do we mash this? How do we do this? We have to go 9s across the board just because he does have two 2Ks, so it'll force all the cards out of his hand. So we will block. We'll go 9. I think that might mean it's guaranteed then, because if not, he would have to counter here. I think no matter what, we just have game. And it forces him, he has to use the blockers because he's unblockable, so he has to get it out of the way before we go in with him. Because if he takes, he just loses, see? So he countered, so now we can literally just go 5. It has to be a trigger that kills something. It has to be a Shigan finger pistol. That's the only way he wins. It's not 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here, unblockable. Jeez, not ever in a bad spot. It looked bad, but we still had 2 life. We had a blocker on the board. Jay chilling, guys. Jay chilling. Guys, we've been recording for so long that it's gotten dark outside now. That's Belo Betty versus your big 3. Your big 3 matchups that you're probably going to run into the most. Some other notable ones would probably be like Purple Luffy. I don't even know what else people are playing right now because my locals is literally just Purple Luffy, Teach, and Shanks. That's all it felt like. Doflamingo. We'll run it back with the same deck list, maybe a few tweaks and changes. Maybe going against Doflamingo. I think the Nami, we did not see much of the matchups we played, but I think it would be very effective into that matchup. That's a very interesting one. It's really hard to out-aggro them, so it's kind of one of those... You're really unfavored, in my opinion, against Doflamingo, but all the other meta matchups, I think you just take over as Belo Betty. So if you can do your job of dodging all of the Doflamingos, you just win the game. So subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, the next deck profile. Let me know down below what deck you want to see. I can cook up something cool. We can do some jank stuff. You let me know if you want something good or if you want something just fun. Let's come up with something cool, and I'll see you in the next one.